Why don't I show you this before we go back to watching the rest of the blitzes we have? I want to show you a couple of drills that we've kind of got to this year. That some of the things you heard me talk about how to blitz, where we drop 2-3 recognition. There's a couple of things that we do, and we circuit it for two reasons. One, I told you we all do each other's jobs. Everybody on our football team, when we line up with 11 guys, the field corner, we don't have a blitz for the field corner. The other 10 are in play on any down. And really, everybody on our team can drop and play a hot 2, hot 3, except for the D tackles. Right now, our D tackles, don't drop. We don't drop them. So there's a lot of carryover. There's a lot of things that all of our kids, we teach a lot of team defense. Like, you all got to know, like, interchangeable parts. So and then as coaches, we want to make sure we're all talking the same language, too, as a staff. So we got to circuiting a bunch of stuff this year. And I've got some wide shots and then some tight shots you can see here. But I'm going to kind of just sort of explain it. What we did is we broke up the LBs, the DBs, and the D line. So there's 4 circuits. There's always one station that's dead. I'm going to fast forward to let it get going right here as we get it, sort of started. And I'll show you the different drills that's going on right here, okay? And I'm going to start with, through the magic of this computer system, I can do some fancy stuff. I'm going to do zoom right here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, this is my, I know it's blurry, but this is my drill right here. And this drill is, I am an inside blitzer. So who could that be? That could be any of the D linemen. That could be that long sticking defensive end. It could be the safety on Fox. It's anyone that doesn't have contain. Anyone that doesn't have contain. And what I'm trying to set up the purpose of this drill is I have 2 offensive linemen. That's what these 2 guys are. And what we're saying is that we're blitzing that gap right there, okay? And then that's a back. And what I wanted the guys to do, and again, this is a learning situation that you can reinforce as you coach on the film, is that then I sit back here and I tell these guys what to do. So in this situation right here, I'm saying that the hole opened, okay, and the back stepped up the block, where now we've got and we always say cut back on the back. And again, it gets back to don't fight the soft shoulder, cut back on the back. So the back blocked him on that point, okay? Okay, so now the next guy's going to go. And see, what I've told now, and again, I'm dealing with my guys. They're not perfect at being offensive linemen. I'm trying to simulate slide protection. And realistically, what I'm trying to simulate here is that guy is going to block you. So that the grass is not there. The grass is out here. But realistically, you're not running, and especially for a linebacker or a blitzer, per se, you're not running a big loop. You're not, sometimes I think the tendency is to think that you're going to go so sideways you'll never get to the quarterback. And that's not the point we're trying to make. We're just trying to make a quick move that if I'm blitzing that gap right there, but the protection turns to block me, I'm just going to take it right there. So all we're trying to reinforce to our kids is don't blindly blitz a gap. Start with an aiming point. So here's the protection as if it turned the other way, okay? And I put the guy close, and we're not working on, anything other than our eyes right now. We're just trying to understand the where of where we want to go, and you can see he kind of runs into the kid a little bit right here. Now I go back where the gap opens and the back steps up. So it's just a simple drill. I'm going to fast forward it to where you can see where it's not the linebackers doing it. So breakdown. So here's a D line. Okay, so for D line I do it differently now. Okay, now I've got 3 offensive linemen. This is the long sticking defensive end. Okay, I'm trying to simulate in a broken down thing what he's going to get, when all 22 are on the field. He's an A-gap blitzer. Okay, in this picture, and again, it's hard. I mean, in theory, they would settle back more. I mean, they'd go backwards more. But right now, what we're saying is that this is like the center has turned to block him. That's one of the couple of examples we saw on film. And all he's doing is just going there, and now you want him to redirect. The only thing here, you don't want him to run so wide. You want him to redirect and finish there, but it's not quite a realistic look. But I'm trying to get them to think it out so they can understand we're just trying to find the grass. Okay? So like right here on this example, the tackle stepped out, the end stepped in. So what we want now is we want a quick redirect. We want that guy in this scenario, if this happened, and probably if this happened, that guy's going to chase him down. We want in this scenario him to redirect and get north as quick as possible. And it's just a simple thing, and all I'm doing is just trying to change. Now the window happens here. Now the A-gap opens. Again, pretend like that's a center guard tackle. Then now the A-gap opens. That guy has gone to block you. You want to fight that shoulder you know, grab it, take your outside arm, pull yourself through, and then get north. And that's all we're working on with this drill, is just getting those guys to understand where the grass is, where am I trying to find now. And then here's the last one. Let's say it all turns away, because this is one of the ones that would always get, you know, sort of piss me off. Look, if you can't get there, there's no sense trying to bury your head in that deal. You know what I mean? Fit tight off his ass and just come right down the line. So, you know, because right now, like, we've got the protection beat. Maybe we've got one outside blitzer coming outside on a blitz or whatever. If we get this, if that guy steps inside, maybe we have a 3 technique right there. And the 3 technique is slanting down. We've made the tackle block a 3. We've won. If that tackle blocks a 3, we've won. Unless your defensive end says, nope, coach told me I got to get in that B gap. We're reducing the 3 and the 5. Okay, but if the tackle turns away from you and you try and get in that B gap, you're not going to make a play. Where's the grass? The grass is out here. Fit tight off his ass. Don't fight the soft shoulder. So that's an example of my drill. Let me go back to the beginning. Okay, what we're trying to set up over here.
Coach, while you're on the finding grass, what if you're going against a quarterback like Dash or at MTSU? Do you ever have to worry about lane assignment or assigning somebody to quarterback?
You know what's funny to me about that? Now, contain's a different issue. But to me, the funny thing about that is I'd rather have that, because to me, what opens lanes are guys just all doing this. You know what I mean? That what you want to do with a great quarterback is you don't want him to go this direction.
Right.
So what you want is you want that first guy to move off the spot and the second guy to make, you know, where instead of going, it's not there, and even if you're rushing 5 and all 5 are just running in a straight line and he can find the escape route, what you want is you want one guy ducks under, makes him go this way, and then another guy comes and makes him go that way. And obviously a guy like that you can't go 5 at every time because he can out-athlete one that gets free. But no, I'm the opposite. I want the most. Here's what I want. Dwight Dasher, a guy like that, not the biggest guy in the world. What I want a guy like that to see is this. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to throw, and you don't see a natural escape route. To me, this, I can find a throwing lane, or I can find a way out of jail. You know, so.
Forcing to move in the pocket like that too makes you, because you don't know where everybody's going, but actually force him into your rush.
That's exactly right.
It dinks him into.
Right, and it's a great point. You have to be aware of who your quarterback is that you're going to get. But there are so few quarterbacks. If you took their quarterback rating, this is what they do in the NFL. If you took their quarterback rating, when they're here and can throw, the second you make them throw the ball from anywhere but there, their proficiency level goes way down. You know what I mean? And sometimes things can happen. They can get out, you know. And we have to live. I mean, everybody hates going against scrambling quarterbacks anyway. You know, and you have to pick your poison in terms of how much you want to pressure them and whatnot. But you got to live with a scramble every now and then. And like this next drill, it's a perfect segue. I told you I asked that question. Great job. Perfect segue is we're talking about contain. This next drill is about contain. Because our D-line coach, Coach Herron, does a great job with our D-line. That's the quote I said earlier, I can contain the quarterback. And what we want our kids to think from a contain standpoint is that you want to contain, but to a point. You want to contain to a point. And so let me show you this, what we try and get done up here. Oops. All right, what we're trying to do up here, I've lost my ability to zoom, but I'll rather show you from the tight. Here we go. All right, what we're trying to do in this drill right here, and again, it's blurry because it's zoomed in, is that this is a contain. These are the D linemen. So this is a contained rusher, and what we're trying to show that's the level of the quarterback, and it's not distance realistic. This is a teaching drill. You know what I mean? What we're trying to understand here is that first thing we have to do is it's a blitz. We're getting up the field. We're beating everybody with speed. Okay, but we have to have awareness of one, beating the tackle with speed, getting to that outside shoulder. I'm a believer. I want my pass rushers to have a plan, and to me, what we're doing is we're attacking shoulders, because everybody in their shoulder. You know, you tuck a kid and you got the shoulder pad on. Everybody's got a hook right here. And all we're trying to do is we're trying to grab that hook. Grab that hook, because that's what's going to pull ourselves around, especially on contained rush. Okay, inside rush, we're not as much grabbers as I want to be on contained rush, and we're still not where I want to be with that. But anyway, so boom, here we are. Can I beat him to the outside? Yes, I can beat him to the outside, take it to the outside, turn the corner, and then we take our managers. We try and give all of our managers have to have rotator cuff surgery in the off season. But to me, the coaching point on this, and you'll see this in the drills we do here, is, okay, we beat him around the edge, and this could be inside as well. Getting our kids to understand that your body goes where your elbows go. Okay, your hips follow your elbows. So when you turn the corner, yeah, we're working on strip sacks. Because to me, I hate sacking the quarterback from behind and not getting the ball out. I mean, sacks are awesome. Strip sacks win you games, okay? But in addition to the strip sack is that I've turned the corner and all my momentum's going this way. If I want to go that way, there's only one way I can go that way. That's take that elbow and make it go that way. So if I do this, it just, and we tell the kids, we say, take your elbow and sling it around. Take your elbow and sling it that way. What naturally happens to your belly button? It just moves. Your body has to follow your elbows. There's no choice. So what we're doing right here is we turn the corner. If we can win the contain, if we can beat the contain, we beat the tackle around the corner, okay, is we're going to take that outside arm and bring that for the strip sack, because that also turns. Because how many times have you seen where the kid gets free? The hardest part of all this stuff is when the kid gets free and can't sack the quarterback. And I meant to say this at the intro. This speech that I'm giving, like this mindset and this reality that of the things that we coach better than we coached in 2006. And that first year, I'm going to tell you a quick story. That first year, we're doing our coaching clinic down at Middle, and that year we were like 3rd in the country in tackle for losses. And I was such a good coach. I couldn't even believe it. You know, I just like telling everybody, I'm such a good. Just listen. I'm kidding. But anyway, I was giving a speech about some of the blitz that we ran that year, and all the same stuff right here. And a coach raised his hand and said one of the smart, and just so you think, you know, and I'm going to make sure that we'll have some time for Q&A at the end if you've got more in-depth, and the questions have been really good so far already. But a coach said, he said, what if your kids aren't good blitzers? And one thing about the kids, I told you when we first got to Middle, that our kids we were naturally good at blitzing. We had some good blitzers. We inherited some good blitzers. And I didn't have a good answer, because I had just come out of a year where I didn't even realize that was my first year with those kids, but we had some kids that were natural blitzers. And I told you about the football guys and how they're funny and how they'll screw with you if you just kind of let them. I didn't have a good answer. The next year, we lost those linebackers, and we replaced them with terrible blitzers. Terrible. I mean, just ones that had no sense of time up, that had no sense of getting off blocks, couldn't finish the deal when they got back there. And I was like, okay. I'm like, all right, you're pretty funny. You know what I mean? I'll learn. I'll get this shit straight. You know what I mean? So a lot of what we're doing here is a progression from that. Okay. And one thing about seeing those kids get back there and miss, I mean, that's one that breaks your heart. So to me, what we're teaching is that strip sack, but also we're trying to get our body on the guy, where we're wrapping that outside arm around the guy, where we don't miss that tackle when we get back there. Dadgummit. All right, so I'll show you a couple examples of this, if I can outsmart the machine. All right, here we go. Okay, so now the opposite thing is here. Now we've been overset, okay? But what we're trying to get our kids to have the feel of is that, okay, just because I see the grass, here's the hardest part about the coaching to the grass thing, is that your contained blitzers will see grass that sometimes they can't take, okay? And they have to understand that they can't take the grass in the first 3 steps of their pass rush. They've got to get to the level of the quarterback before they come inside to make the play, because otherwise we might have Gut or Fox, one of our inside blitzes on, and we've got to win in the inside. Your kid comes underneath, and the quarterback's able to break contain, and then everybody gets in a bad mood. So that's all we're trying to do here in this drill. All we're trying to do is we got a lineman that's trying to simulate, you know, getting out of there. Like to me, like for example, on this picture, the kid comes inside too early. You know what I mean? This has not been determined. Now the kid's trying I think the scout team kid per se has been trying to told to turn your, you know, to really overset your pads, to turn your shoulder, but to me it's happening too soon. That's probably not what we want right there. But really what we're trying to do is, again here, if we get overset and then we're trying to teach the Reggie White move, now instead of going with our outside arm with the outside shoulder, we're going to take our inside hand, club the inside shoulder, you know, either go arm over or rip back inside and get back to the quarterback. So what we've done right now is so far when we've circuited, our kids have all been a contained rusher, and they've all been an inside free rusher. Because it's very important for our guys to understand that when you're an inside rusher, you're a free rusher. Because otherwise, I mean, you're either free or you're not free. You're either got to be in the A gap come hell or high water, or you got a little bit of flexibility, and we got to live with the flexibility. So again, here, this is not a great look, but this is just, you know, we've beaten the guy. And what we're trying to teach, and I know I talked about we're not decision makers. I guess what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build their instinct. You know what I mean? We're trying to put them in situations that they'll see through the course of the game and build their instinct. Okay. All right. This drill right here. Our last two drills are more fundamental drills. Okay. This is keep doing that. Somebody tell me to stop doing that. This is just to turn the corner. We're trying to get low pads. We're king of football. We're going off the football. We're trying to run underneath the first block, you know what I mean, run underneath the hands, and just working on turning that corner, and then same thing, trying to get our outside arm down on that outside ball, and we're just working on that sort of that last turn right there, dipping that inside shoulder. This is not a thinking. These last two drills are not a thinking instinct drill. This is a finishing the job, understanding the fundamentals of getting off the ball, low pads. He's turning his back to a hard block on the line of scrimmage, turns his shoulder, comes in, and knocks the ball out. Same thing there. And that's in essence what we got going on here. I'll show you here. Wait till a rotation occurs. And then we'll do it both ways. There's only a couple of these. And then what we're still teaching, though, and it's kind of funny, we're still teaching it, and again, if you watch the Colts are great, their defensive ends are great, those strip sacks, is that if we're coming from the front side, and again, if that quarterback's got his eyes down the field, we still want to hunt that football. We're still all about that football. We want to bring, so like you may be turning the corner on that offensive lineman. I'm coming from the quarterback's front side now, but same thing. I'm still trying to take that outside arm. I'm trying to bring that thing inside. It still helps me turn the corner, but we're still hunting that football. If that quarterback he's the #1 turnover guy on the team, and he's vulnerable, we're trying to get that football. And I'll show you here our last drill that we do. Okay, and this is the same thing. We're working on a couple different things going on here at once. Okay. Okay, we're coming off the ball. We got a movement coming off the ball, and then we're just working on going both ways. We're clubbing the right shoulder, come back clubbing the left shoulder. This to us is more like beating backs. This is beating guys in space. We've beaten the guy on the line of scrimmage. Boom, club. I don't like the fact he doesn't use his left arm there. He never uses his off arm on both moves. He clubs, but he never brings his other arm, which fails to bring him through the body. Like right there, he rips on the second one, but he didn't rip on the first one. And again, we'll do both these drills from the right and left. There's a good rip on the second one. And all we're just working on is when we pass rush, especially on backs, is that we're not going to work down the middle of a man. Somebody goes to block you, pick a side, make something happen, and get yourself free to the quarterback. And this is our blitz circuit drill, okay, that we do. And again, just to show you, so here it is. Here it is just a tight view. This is starting at my drill. These are DBs. Now 7 was our starting corner this year. I would struggle to think of a situation where 7 would be an inside free rusher. But you know what, he does play nickel for us, and there just might be a time where it happens. But you know what, who gives a shit? Like, let's all speak the same language. Let's all do the same thing. Because ultimately, when 7 sits in the meeting room, and I get on, you know, number whoever that is an inside, like, I just want them all to understand. We're just big on teaching team ball. You know what I mean? There's great look there where that's a soft shoulder. That guy is going to block him, especially with DBs, because to me, DBs are such great athletes. But usually they suck as blitzers because they just don't, you know, they want to go 1,000 miles an hour and they get too fast. No, you're so fast. You're so, you know, use your running back instincts from when you were in damn Little League. I mean, hell, he does a better slap arm over right there than half, I mean, just never practiced, never been taught that in his life, than half of our defensive linemen would. And that's why I like having them little wee guys in there. See how he has no ability? Look what he's going to do. He's going to take 2 hands and push the guy by. That ain't ever going to work. And that kid right there, I believe that's 33. a hell of a football player, a safety, be a 3-year starter, thumper, I mean, big-time player, can't blitz. Can't blitz. I mean, like, I told him all, I said, your whole deal this spring is just to learn how to blitz. You've got to become you're too good of a player to be as sorry of a blitzer as you are. So that's that from up front. Let me show you this right here. Okay, so we'll do that one day. So this is you know, these are the drills that we'll do right here. Okay, and then so that's we all blitzed. Okay, then the next day we'll say, okay, now we're all droppers. This is hot 2, hot 3, hot 2 day, fire zone circuit. So what we've got going on right here to show you from wide is we got 3 stations going on. Okay, this station right here, this is hot 2 to the field. And what you're seeing right now, I can't tell what group's there yet, but they're getting a width, an idea of dropping for that width and getting to that 2 yards outside the hash landmark, and then it basically just becomes a curl flat drill. Okay, down here, these are safeties, and they're hot 2 in the boundary. So they're working on hot 2 in the boundary. There's a quarterback. What he's giving him is it's 3-step. See how the quarterback didn't drop in the gun? No drop in the gun to us is 3-step. And all of a sudden, that's you know, this kid's working a cover 2 disguise. You know, there's a difference. You have to teach, and you have to work the drills a little bit different. When the DNs come and they're hot 2 in the boundary, they're standing in the line of scrimmage. They might be in a 3-point stance. When my linebacker comes down there and they're hot 2 to the boundary, they're going to be 4 to 5 yards off the ball. You know what I mean? Something like that. When the safeties come in, they're hot 2 in the boundary. They're going to be sitting there maybe disguised in cover 2. They might be at 10 to 12 yards and rolling down. So you have to be able to work the drills specific to what all the guys will be doing position-wise. And then what I'm doing up here at the top is this is a hot 3 drill. And what I've told them all right now, and especially the D linemen need this more than anybody because it's re-drill. If you coach linebackers, I got to do re-drill the D linemen. It sounds, or the D ends. It sounds crazy, but that's what you got to do. So what I've told them all is that, let me see if I can get my little zoom apparatus going here. What I've told them all is that, actually I got this right here. Okay, this is it right here. What I've told them is that that's 3. I've just told them. I said you've been switched. You were hot to the field. You've been switched. 94 is 3. Just know that he's 3. So then I tell them, I say, okay, boom. I hand the ball off to him. That's your guy. Go tackle him. Okay. Okay. Next play right here. I'll tell the guy, and they don't, you know, they don't always do it. I say, okay. I'll tell my little back. I say pass block, and now on the quarterback. That's 3-step drop. And see how he's going backwards. In theory, that's not what I'd want him to do. I'd want him to, you know, react to a quick pass. Now look at me right here. Now the back is pass blocking, and I'm gonna drop. Where now what I want him to do is I want him to get to that 12-yard right smack dab in the middle of the field. So all we're doing is we're just teaching the D linemen the 3 in the 1-back world, which is the world that we live in mainly. We're trying to teach them the 3 essentials of what they're going to see: run, play action, or run, drop back pass, and 3-step. Okay, and if they can understand run, tackle number 3, 3-step, 5 yards deep, you know, drop back at the 12 yards deep, and generally speaking, I mean, again, for DNs, if they can do that, then we consider them, you know, like right here, attaboy. And they all think it's like CIA, KGB stuff. They're like, yeah, we're dropper, we're linebackers. I mean, they all think that's like the coolest thing in the world. And then we get to make fun of them because they all look like dorks when they drop. So that's just fun. We just like to laugh at people. Not really, guys. Stop being so sensitive. But anyways, so that's a hot 3 drill, and then I'll vary it. And what I'll do is I'll put split backs, and you can craft it to what you're going to see that week. I mean, if you're going to see a 2-back offense where you got to discern, let it flow out, who's 2, who's 3, whatnot. We'll do all that type of stuff. I'll have 3 be a tight end. I'll have 3 be a wide out, the hardest ones for the DNs. I'll put trips out there, and I'll have a back, and I'll run the zone and then throw the screen. Just to reiterate in their brain that say, no, you're not the run player. You're the screen player. They just threw the ball to 3. They throw it to 3, you got to tackle 3. We got enough guys to go tackle 2 on the dive. So just things like that. Here is, go back to the big picture right here. You can see, so I'll go to a couple other. So you can see the safeties right here. They're playing hot 2, 4 yards outside the hash. Now what we're simulating right here, we might be in a cover 2 disguise. And let's say there's two receivers to the boundary. I think that's 1. We're pretending like, right, that's number 2 right there. And they're running lead option. So this kid is in a stress position. we're running, in theory in this situation, we're running a weak fire zone. If the safety's hot too, we're blitzing weak. Let's say it's just weak scrape, the Will and the Mike are blitzing. And bang, they're running lead option into it. The safety who's trying to disguise cover 2 so you don't know what we're doing is now, he is outflanked by 2. So it's run, so the first thing he's got to do is he's got to come beat that block. He's pitch. He's pitch. He's got to bring that ball inside. Our hot 3 player, they just pitch the ball at 3. He's going to be in the alley chasing it from inside out. But that guy right there is our contained force player. He's got to play pitch. So that's one of the variables that they run here in this drill right here. Now it's drop back pass. Same thing here. Guy drops back, play off the quarterback's eyes. You know, again, when we get down the road, we might run into the guy vertical, try and work on jamming of verticals. All we're trying to do right here is just take the things that we see the most, the major points of emphasis that you're going to try and get coached, and we're just trying to coach it to the entire football team. Okay. And then over here, these are. Let me fast forward around so you see some of the other guys. Okay, so we've rotated. So these guys right now are pretending like they're like nickels or whatever, and they're just getting the feel for that drop of where hot 2 is. And then if it was 3-step, then they'd have to flatten their drop down the line. You know, and these guys would all be like doing it from like a nickel type position. Here are our defensive ends. Now we're doing the same hot 2 drill. That guy is a tackle. That's a defensive end. He's standing up like he's in our east-west front. Okay, that'd be east in the boundary, and he's hot 2. And we're saying right now that guy is 2. Okay, so they hand it to him. He's got to fold back inside. Now we got blitz going on. In theory, the blitz, if that guy's a drop end, we're blitzing from here. So the back should get forced back into the defensive end. But he has to understand he's a fold linebacker. He's a fold linebacker, almost like an old 50 scheme. He's got to fold back down the line and tackle that guy. And again, all we're trying to do right now in this circuit, in both these circuits, we are building awareness. And this, to me, does more for our fire zones because this is what helps us in the run game. This, you know, the sacks and the stuff like that comes off of it is all gravy. But if we can do this and handle the run game, to me, that's what's most critical. So like right here, it's drop back. So that's our defensive end. He should drop straight back. And then the quarterback, I assume he's trying to do 3-step right there where we might flatten our drop. We're playing that hot throw in that area. And that's all we're working on right here. So we got hot 3s, hot 2s, and hot 2s the field. And I'll show you one last thing, one more rotation where you see the defensive linemen come up here. Now the D linemen, now they're all standing up. This would be west, or they're down. Now the hardest thing right here, they're down on a 3-point stance. Okay? In this situation right here, there's no detached 2, so they have not been switched. Their defensive linemen are born hot 2 players. Boom. He's got to push, get out of there, work back. And we're just trying to get him a feel for where he's going. You know what I mean? And to me, in this, you know, we don't really want this. Like, we don't want the guy. We're not trying to make them zone drop experts. You know what I mean? We just want them to understand. Hey, now he's doing it out of an up position, and the coach will tell him which way he wants. Now he's at up position. We just want him to feel. Hey, have I crossed the hash mark yet? Yes. Am I? You know, how many steps? We're trying to build that, like, you know, that memory in terms of where it is in terms of our landmarks. Does anybody have any questions about these 2 circuits we do right here with blitz? I think it's important. You know, I mean, if you're gonna do this, these are the building blocks of it. Because if you're not a third or a deep middle player, you're either a blitzer, or you're either an inside blitzer, or you're a contained. I mean, there's really, you think about it. You're a contained blitzer. You're an inside blitzer. You're hot 2. You're hot 3. You're a third player. You're a deep middle. Yes, sir.
Is this every week, every Tuesday, Wednesday?
We'll hit this every week. We got big into. It's funny when I first started coaching, we circuited a bunch, and then we kind of poo-pooed it and got out of it. And then this year we'd roll these 2, we'd do a turnover circuit, we'd do a tackle circuit, and we hit those 4 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Try to hit those every week. So we touch on it every week.
Beginning of practice, middle,
beginning of practice, in the beginning during individual time. And we might even do, if on Thursday we couldn't get to it, we might even do 2 of them on Monday. Monday for us in our work week was we didn't really want to get a lot into game playing on Monday. We might do both of these drills on Monday. Monday was an us day. Who are we? You know, we're going to fire zone 25% of the time. Let's make sure we're experts on fire zoning. And I'm not trying to pretend like we're experts, like we have all the answers. We wanted our kids to pretend like we knew what we were talking about in that situation. So this ended up being a good deal. A good deal. To go through each thing, what we try and do, we either try 2.5 per station, or like sometimes like if our D line was the biggest group, like when the last D lineman got done, we'd blow the whistle and rotate off of that. But we would try. I mean, when I did the practice schedule, we'd be 10 minutes for a circuit. Any circuit we ever did, we'd script it for 10 minutes, 2.5, 4 stations. This is 3 stations. We'd try and go 2.5 for 10 minutes. And then one other thing we did, and just like I was doing, we watched a film. Remember how, on some of the occasions, we made a big commitment this year that when we were split up in segments and we were watching film, on some of those plays where the defensive end was, long sticking down to A-gap, and the center turned to him, center turned away, and you saw some different choices. We made a really big deal, and with our coaches, that show that to the safeties. Because, like, that's scrape. The safety, if you're coaching the safeties on that play, your guy's hot to the field and he's deep middle. So you're watching the game and you're coaching, you say, hey, good job, deep middle, blah, blah, blah. And then your tendency is to go on to the next play. But there might be a great lesson on that play because then the next play when it's Fox, the safety is the A-gap blitzer. He's the same guy as the DN the play before. So now when he runs in there and just runs in the center, you know what I mean, like a jackass, like you're trying to tell him, but you could have shown him the greatest example to play before. See, the center turned to the end. He's A-gap like you are on Fox. But see how he took this shoulder and took it to the next A-gap? You know what I mean? So we try to cross-coach in our rooms as much as we possibly can, So... And keep in mind, I'm going to make sure we leave time at the end for, like I said before, with more in-depth questions and whatnot. So, all right, let's go back to the fire zone tape because there's a couple. After we get through the fire zone, I want to go cover 2 fire zone and then maybe our odd stuff, time permitting. Okay. This is Rizzo. Rizzo is one of my favorite blitzes, even though I told you they're all the same. But Rizzo has special powers that. Okay, Rizzo is the same people are blitzing. Sam and Mike are blitzing if it's strong. The Will and the Mike are blitzing if it's weak. The Will is always hot 3. He's born hot 3. The defensive end's dropping. And what we did this year, the front you see us doing out of this, so we've run it out of, we've run all our blitzes out of our 4-3, 4 down front. We can run them all out of odd. Now Rizzo we cannot run out of odd because it's a TE stunt. That's one it's confined to a 4 down blitz. We have a 3 down version, which is on here. We call it Redskin, but Rizzo cannot be 3 down. But what we're doing right here, we're running it out of up. We just call that up, and up just puts us in our 4 down front, but both the defensive ends are standing up. Because if you think about college football now, what people are doing now with the zone read game, the spread game, if you're 4 down, your defensive ends are linebackers. I mean, it's just the world that you live in now. If people are going to run the zone read, I mean, that's what they're doing. They're trying. The reality is they couldn't block those guys in the 90s, so they said, let's not block them anymore. Let's block them with the quarterback. So we try to put our defensive ends, well, what are you going to get out of that formation? So what's the disadvantage of them standing up? I mean, you can get blown off the ball. I mean, in this day and age, if the back is to you, you're getting speed option and zone read. If the back is away from you, you're getting zone block 2 or maybe a counter or something like that to you. I mean, there's not a whole bunch of things people do out of one-back gun when you really look at it. So we loved it. I thought this was good to us. Our kids like it. It helps. Their eyes are up. Well, you say, well, we could stand up the one that's dropping, but then that's kind of obvious. So what we just do is we just stand them both up, and then we stunt one of the ones that's up. So again, we're trying to disguise which way we're bringing the blitz from. Okay. So right now we're coming strong. We don't get a great time up, but this guy's hot 2. There's the Will. He's hot 3. And they happen to run an outside play right here. And they got a bad play going. And the dudes in white are flying to the football. So this is Rizzo. The Mike, and I don't like the way he does this here, but the Mike's going to cross the center's face. We got a TE stunt going on right here to the side. We're actually running this at a split as well, which is another variation. If we can run our fire zones at a split, we're in split and up right here. And again, it's like I talked about at the beginning. We're calling different formations, but we run the same thing. The kids are like, this is so easy. 91's a blitzer, just out of an up position. 11's a dropper out of an up position. 92 is our contained rusher, working for width. We found a crack there. 56 He needs to take it on to the next one, find some grass, and 30's hot 3, they just hand the ball to his guy. Let's go get him. So this is the same thing. This will be strong Rizzo. We're out of up, so we're blitzing these two. Looks like a tight end wing over here, so he's hot 3, hot 2. They're trying to run stretch in the boundary, and this is what I like about Rizzo. What Rizzo gives you that a lot of other fire zones don't give you is, like, because you got the TE stunt going on right here, you kind of get that guy on a different level. See how number 11 sort of stays alive right there? As opposed to everybody scrape when they all go. I mean, it's good when they all go, but sometimes there's something about having that guy just lag behind on second level. And we're talking about, especially against scrambling quarterbacks, when everybody goes the same level, he can find a crack in there. When they kind of come at him in waves, it just adds an element right there that makes it tough. Same thing here. 56, it was our backup linebacker. 32's backup. You see, we play a lot of guys. I'm a believer in depth. And when I got guys that are less experienced in the game, we're going to blitz them. It's the easiest thing they can do. Hell, at least 56 made a pile right there. It took two. They're suckers. They had 2 guys block him. You know what I mean? Like, free it up for number 11. Yes, sir. When we in our formation-based defense, we declare the tight end strong. In our fire zones, if we wanted to blitz to the tight end side, we call that tight. Strong in fire zone in our terminology is field, and boundary is weak, and then tight, open, back, far, tilt, whatever. Okay, that was strong Rizzo. This is weak Rizzo. So now this will be the same thing. Now we're gonna bring the Will and the Mike. So its fire zone is away from Sam. So Sam is automatically, he's got the decision. He's a switcher because I'm an outside linebacker away from the blitz. So he's told him switch. We're running out of our 4 down net right now. We're letting the kids play around disguise wise. Mike should cross face. And you'll see a great example here in terms of finding grass. Now what happens here is, and this is one thing, this is what we got, this is the first game of the year, and what happens to you on film teaches you what you got to drill. And like that, when we did that fire zone circuit, like for example, our safeties didn't do a great job. Like that kid right there is hot 2. Well, who's 2? Him. And they handed it to him. And he's got to understand, we got all this funk. Remember how I was telling you when the end is on the back? We got all this funk going on over here. You're going to tackle that guy. But see, to me, this play is a failure because we've won. And we touched the back in the backfield, but our guy that's designed to tackle him, you know, they get 4 or 5 yards in that play to me, and they ain't deserve it.
Should he fit up in that gap right there as soon as he sees it? Because doesn't he play outside in?
He's outside in, but to me, he's not understanding that we've got an outside blitz coming. That it ain't gonna happen from over here. You know what I mean? And then, but who to me? Can you see who the main culprit on this deal is? The Mike's not great, but to me, if the Mike does what he does, see, it's 98. See, 98's not running to the grass. I don't know why it's so dark on this picture. 98's right up 44's butt. And to me, that's the big thing. And I can always tell, and my little coaching point on this deal with 44 is watch his feet. See how he steps underneath himself right there? Right there. See, why are you doing that? Carry on your path. See, if he carries on his path, look at the body position that guy's in. See, his feet are all crossed up, and he's all crazy. To me, I mean, I know how good a player that guy is. If he stays on his path, he'll knock that guy down, force it back there, or that guy falls on his ass, and now it opens up for 98. So in a way, it's sort of a relationship between the both of them. But to me, that should not have happened. But regardless of, we've got, and I mean, I'll just say it, I'll tell it this way. We got all these guys taking the bullets, you got to come make the play. Because you are our extra guy in the box. And that, to me, is what makes it tough on the offense, is that we're showing them that we've got 6 in the box. And it's hard for them to count that that guy is our 7th, that we actually have the run advantage. We want to dare them to run and then make them run into something that they would prefer not to run into. And that's ideally why we like to do what we do in the run game. And that's why I like playing this better than I just like playing generic cover 3. Because you can trick them and you make them do things. I want to do. Okay, what we've done here is our rule where our safety it's weak Rizzo, so our safety is hot 2. You just saw in the last play, he was hot 2. Okay? But what we'll do is, I said, if the safety's guy is in the backfield, we will do what's called a drop call. And drop call means whoever is the contained rusher, drop. Don't rush. I'm going to rush, meaning him. But what we do with the safety, and again, this sounds a little going around the corner to explain it, but if it's a lot harder for that guy to blitz than that guy. That guy's got a better disguise. So we actually, the term for this, we call it drop crash. So I'm a safety, we call weak Rizzo. If there's a tight end there, it's on. Like the Will's going to blitz with the Mike. There's 2 receivers over here, the Will's going to blitz with the Mike. If there's only one guy out there and his guy is hot 2 and it's back here, he's going to tell that guy drop crash. He makes a drop call to him. He's telling our outside blitzer to drop, and then he's got to crash the corner. If he didn't tell the corner crash, then he's got to blitz. He's got to become our contained blitzer. Okay? And then what we did here with our Will, just to screw with him, he knows he's been dropped. So he's in here disguising the A-gap like he's going to come, but he knows the Mike's coming in his stead right there, and we're just trying to cause confusion. He's hot too. His back is right there. He's got the easiest job in the world. Safety goes and plays a third over the top. And again, it's like I talked about. See how you turn the screw on the Rizzo right there in 11? It's a great job there by 11, and he gets a piece of the guy. See, 44 does a great job to me on this play. He penetrates. I don't think he had another choice right there. To me, there is grass in that A-gap. He does a great job. He penetrates. And now 11, in an up position, which I think makes it easier to stunt also, 11 he just does a great job working his way to the ball. And then meanwhile, now 30 is our guy that everybody's taking bullets for. And they can't block him. Because there's so much confusion going on here. And that's what I said on that PowerPoint thing. The corner made the back cut back, and we just got what we won. The 91 here is our hot 3 player. He's got to be careful because the tight end is 3 in this situation. He's got to play that gap he creates. You can see right here we could almost get in trouble. There's almost a vertical gap that gets created right there. You've got to be a little more patient than that. Okay, so that's Rizzo. This is Redskin. Redskin is Rizzo's cousin at a 3 down because you know we got a TE game, so we can't push the odd and run the TE game because, well, we can do it. We just the way we do it with the linebacker. So this is strong. So that's our linebacker right there. So these two are going to go. So the end is still running the TE game, but now he's running with us. So instead of the Mike blitzes the A-gap away from the TE game, but now that's the odd nose. And this is that adjustment I was talking to you guys about in trips. And if your kids, even if you're already a scrape fire zone team or whatever you call it, when you get trips, see, that's our Mike. Our Mike is walked out between 3. That's his just walkout rules. Sam, Mike. And see the Will? The Will's going to run the blitz with the Mike. Will is normally hot 3. Will is born hot 3. He's the outside linebacker away from the fire zone. He's born hot 3. Okay? And again, down the road, these 2 kids were seniors. They were smart. They were experienced. They said, we're going to swap it. Mike, look where you're lined up. You play hot 3. I'm going to run your blitz. And that's it. And again, it's another example of it's a new blitz for the offense. Now we're bringing the Sam and the Will. But we're not, it's not a new blitz for us. That's our defensive end right there. Why is he there? Because that's 2. 1's over here, 2's inside of 1. So we look like, I mean, hell, I don't know, break us down. What do you want to call that a 30 front, 3-2 front? With like maybe a shade from a 3-3 stack? I mean, who the hell knows? So bring it from the field. Bad time up right here. He's not keying the football. That's where you got to bring that outside arm and swing your body around. Now we've rushed. Here's our defensive tackle. He's on the back. Now we've rushed by the quarterback. That's not what we want. Now watch the blitz here of number 30, the big gap blitzer. In terms of not stopping, and to me, he gets the relentless sack. Let's go back and look at the coverage. Now, I told you we play a lot of man-to-man. So what are we getting? We're getting mesh. We're getting all kinds of crossing routes. You know what I mean? Which all of a sudden we just hop in a fire zone, and everything's good. Got a bunch of guys. I mean, to me, nobody's really open. Our D middle players can't do this. It's a big-time mistake. get his ass deep. And our backside third player in the nub's got to get deep, work for depth also. Now, same thing, 45, and I told you this was his first game. Where's the grass? Keep coming, keep coming. To me, realistically, it should have been his sack. He should have ended up, it's not, he's an A-gap blitzer, it's not here, maybe that closed. Just keep finding where it's at, you know. Okay, here's the same thing here. Same adjustment, there are trips, we're the same way. Our Mike has walked out, we're bringing the Sam and the Will. Will blitzes the B-gap. Now, like, for example, look what happens here to the Will. He goes to blitz B-gap, and the guard hard sets him, oversets him. Take it. You know what I mean? Take it. Get up the field. We'll work it out. Go. Go. Stop looking around. Go. It's your sack. If he just goes, it's his sack. It's over. What do we talk about at the contain rush? Is he at the level of the quarterback? Not yet. So we just showed him that. We said, you took away that sack. You know, that's a 1-yard gain. It should have been a minus 7-yard gain. And then, we would have led the nation in sacks, and I could have charged Tony more to come talk to you today. You know what I mean? Damn it. All right? Get to the level of the quarterback and then come back inside, okay? And then same thing here. Now, there's coaching point here, nub side third corner. Don't get all caught up in this mess. Your deep third threat can come from the other side of the field as well. But I love that right there to me. That's my drill in that circuit. Those are those two guys, and you're blitzing that gap, and they both go like this, and you just don't change direction. Just keep it going. And if 91 doesn't stop and start, that's what just driving me freaking crazy. Don't stop. Don't start reading shit. We don't read anything. Go. You all tell me. That's not reading. That to me is going and adjusting on the fly. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to be weird about how you talk about stuff. We're not trying to teach reading and stuff. We're just talking about going to the grass. Go 100 miles an hour, never stop your feet, and find the point of least resistance. Same thing here. This Redskin, we look like we're 3-4. This is a switch call, so that's our defensive end right there. He's just moved inside because he knows that that's number 3. Plus, it gets him closer to his drop area. Now, what I don't like about him is that he goes too quick. He gets in there and makes a play, but to me, he'd still be a little better off taking his time. See how 43. I'll tell you a story about this play real quick. You'll see the play preceding this play in a minute when we get to our cover 2 fire zone. The play before, they ran an option, and the guy ran all the way to our sideline, cut back, we lost contain on the backside, and ran all the way to their sideline, ran for about 18 yards. Everybody on the field ran about 80 yards on that play. It's a backup, 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 it's a backup. We ran 9 guys on the field. And I know some of you guys may not feel like you have the ability to do that, but the 11 that are out there after a play like that ain't worth a shit. I'm just gonna tell you. You know what I mean? And if it takes one play, even for one play, if you can sit there and just pray that they can hold up for one play, what that'll do to your football team, number one, what it does to your backups is that they actually think that, like, you like them. You know what I mean? Because you'll, like, actually put them in a football game, you know, instead of, like, just yell at them all the time. And it helps your entire team morale so much to play multiple people. And to me, they got down the red zone, so the first play we ran Rizzo. You know what I mean? Something easy we thought that the kids could do. They got it done, and we ended up they missed a field goal. We went 1 down, 2 down. On 3rd down, we put our best 11 back in there, and they missed a field goal. I thought that was a big deal. So here's Redskins' weak version. So now we're bringing the Will and the Mike. So this is an example right here. We could have crashed this. See the weak safety? He's hot too. We could have run it. We could have dropped it, and we could have dropped it and crashed it, and we could have been perfect. And all that would happen is that the Will would not have gone. The Will would have played hot too. That's a hell of a job right there. Create confusion, guys. They ain't blocking nobody. Same thing here. Weak Redskin, could have dropped, crashed it. We're trying to hold the cover 2 disguise. We don't want you to know where we're going. It's a switch call. It's weak. So the Sam is a switcher. There's our hot 3 player. Okay, so what happens here on this play? To me, the number one thing is this, is that see the hesitation of the safety right here? He's going to make the tackle. Of course, he ends up forcing a fumble. He's going to make the tackle whenever he feels like making it. I'd prefer him to make it right now. That's your man they hand the ball to. Go tackle the guy. Sometimes, and that's why, and actually we sort of like those drop crash calls because it lets the DBs blitz and lets the linebackers play the run. And then 98, you know, if he doesn't get held, but if he really just books it and goes, I don't mind 92. That's what I'm talking about. See how 92 is supposed to go here. But he can't make it, and he goes in that way. But look where the back is. Look how the back is bubbled. And look at the giant hole that we've got. The offense says, oh, look at that giant hole. No, that's our hole. You know, they want him to cut it in there. I want my guy to cut it in there. To me, we've won. We've had him run into a hole that we've got handled. Okay, this will be the gut blitz. Okay, the Mike and the Will are gonna cross. The safety is a switcher. Sam's always hot too. Deep middle, the safety switcher. There's 2 removed, so he's got to be the switch guy. So that end's going to drop. This will be the hardest thing right here. The end is dropping. That's 3. He's got to get to the middle of the field, and he's got his hand on the ground. We like to blitz on zone scheme on one-back teams. We don't. The way we teach it, the Mike goes first. Mike first. If they just knew it the first day of practice. When it's one back, we want the backer away from the back to go first. Say, why do you want that? Because generally speaking, the number one play with one back is zone, and we want to be running into the zone like this instead of running away. So you can see right here, he needs to, see how he steps forward and touches the guy? He needs to get out of there. And see how it becomes a stunt? See how 47 contains it, and that guy folds inside? That's exactly what we want right there. And we're running it out of split. We did a lot of stuff out of split against these guys this year. Now get north. Not like his footwork, a little too crossed over right there, but get yourself up the field, force the ball back in, take away their zone scheme. Now 11 to me is in trouble on this play. 11 is an outside blitzer. He's defensive end. Yeah, he's got to be all over the quarterback. Don't make a decision. We don't let him make any decisions. Okay, here it is against 2 backs. There's a Sam, and again, we're trying to disguise. Just one thing that just kind of irks me is when these guys will not. I mean, they're 1 dang yard apart. Just line up on the same level. How hard is it on every play to look at each other and get on the same level so they can't have an idea which way we're tilting? Okay, here's the play I was telling you about. There's 2 backs, and it's dive option. Okay, so you have to go back to your base rules right here. Okay, I'm hot 3, therefore I have dive. I'm hot 2. I have pitch. I am an outside blitzer. I have quarterback. Okay, we've got the option defended in theory before we even know what's going on. And what we got a blitz going on. And you know what that's given us? That's given us a safety that's unblocked that should run down there and smash that dude. Now what's our pitch player doing? Well, our pitch player drops back. But if you think about it, one of the reasons I love this fire zone against this play in this formation is. You guys, you know enough about offense. What read are we giving the quarterback? It's a give read. And in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that they don't want to give the football into this. And that's what I was talking about to me, that we're setting the trap. Come run it. Give the ball. And then you're giving it into a blitz that they don't want to give the ball into. And that's a big part of how we want to defend that shotgun run game. Where even if physically, in theory, we're getting whipped, and again, 44's just got, his feet, his pads are 2 turned. He had a bad habit. He thought that he would trick everybody. He thought that they could never tell when he's blitzing, and they always. Some guys, my big joke I tell myself, you're the guy that I promise you, when you walk into like 7-Eleven or whatever, and you're like little, and you take that like 5-cent piece of candy and you put in your pockets, you think you're kind of like renegade or whatever, and you're walking out, and the guy just grabs you by the back of the neck, like. You gonna pay for that candy? You know what I mean? I'm like, you're that guy that always got his neck grabbed because you got no slyness about you. We got some guys when they go to blitz. When I was at NC State, we had Phillip Rivers for all 4 years. The thing that he would do to piss off our guys on defense more than anything is Phillip would be at the line of scrimmage before the play, and he'd just go like this. He goes, "You're blitzing. And he was right. And our guys would be like, damn it, how'd you know that? You know, but guys just get so weird. When they go to blitz, they're just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I mean, look, you know, I mean, it's just comical. You know what I mean? So we try to, I don't know, you know, I mean, I said Coach Stock recruits a bunch of good guys. Sometimes, man, I don't know, maybe we need some of those guys that are good at holding up convenience stores. Just kidding. Okay, same formation right here. Same thing, bringing the mic in the wheel. Safety's down in the box. Okay, play action pass. Safety's hot three. I love this coverage. I love it when the safety is a hot three player. I think it's such an easy, he should be a great instinctual player. He can sit right there in that hole. Sam linebackers drop back pass. Are we 2 yards outside the hash? Yes. Defensive end. Is he going straight back? Yes. Is he 4 yards outside the hash? Say he's pretty damn close. D middle safety, is he in the middle of the field? Yes. Look what they're trying to run. They're trying to run a little tailback down the poop chute on us, and we got him. You know what I mean? Yeah, the comeback's open, but by the time the comeback comes open, we got the quarterback running around. And it's a hell of a play there by that's our defensive end. Ends up being a sack. Good job right there. See this is that drill in that blitz circuit where they had the two dummies. You know what I mean? He clears it, one steps up, boom, arm over, bang. Try as tight down as possible. Arm over, free yourself with the block. Now the guy that's not good on this play is 32. Counter back, counter back, counter back. They're holding the hell out of us. We had holding called on the other team about one time this year. Okay, same thing here. Now, to me, this is late in the game. We got some of our younger guys in. Okay, they're in trips. They're going to run stretch. Okay, we're running gut. There's our hot two player. The safety's hot three. That guy is tight end. That's three. And I want you to see how we're about to get our ass busted if that guy doesn't come through and make the play. Because look what our three player's doing. He's just jerking around in the middle of the field or whatever. He doesn't understand that we have no edge in this defense. We got a 7 technique right now, and even if we exited him to a 9, there's still a gap over here. There's still a tight end that's blocking our guy responsible for C gap. So he needs to be there. Because if that guy, you can see how right there where we're caved in. And if he showed up, we'd be able to make the play. It's a good job by 32. Now, does 32 run into the gap that he's supposed to? Not really. He kind of runs up 56's butt. But he ran to the grass. We created grass with our initial movement, and that's why gut is like Rizzo, because we're not all going at the same level. We got a guy going, and we got a guy going behind him that can sort of hunt his way through there. Now, here's the same play after this guy got, you know, his ears explained to a little bit. Now the tight end blocks. There's no one to block him. We have one more. Them 6 are going to block them 6. That's the bottom line. I mean, I know that. Or they're going to try to, and then we fire zone that take up 2 blocks with 1. Bip. And that's just going to where it's good. We're awful here. But again, like I said, we got tuba players in the game and stuff like that. But that's okay at this point, because that's an insult to the tuba players. Here we are, 2 backs, 3 wides. You can tell there's 44 doing a bunch of pretend stuff. Let me make this point real quick because I don't want to forget it, okay? If you're going to blitz at all, to me there's 2 things you have to do, okay? In this day and age, especially, I'm talking about if you guys play a lot of spread teams, you have to protect your blitzes. One of the big things is, and I don't know all the answers on this, but you got to, you know, like my guys, you got to try and work hard on time-ups. Try and get to the team snap count, work hard on time-ups, okay? Because you got to disguise. You have to disguise your intentions. I think disguise is critical on your blitz game, okay? But one thing we do, and I don't know if, I don't see any other way. And if you guys get, you know, again, in you know, what they teach next door, I can't coach a team that we're going to come on a blitz and the offense is going to go hike, and all of our guys get caught in the action of blitzing, and then they're going to turn to their coach, and their coach is going to call the perfect play against the blitz. And I cannot stand there on the sideline and just be like, you know, come on, guys. To me, I just feel like I'm cheating our kids. So to me, we try to disguise our intentions, but if we get caught, and I don't mean like caught in this situation where like he thought the snap was going to go and now it's, you know, 1,001, 1,002, and there it goes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're going to get the freeze play, where they're going to freeze you out, they're going to turn and look at the sideline. To me, you got to get your guys to turn and look at you. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything extreme, but you got to check out. I mean, you got to check, and you don't have to do it every time, but you got to show the offense that you can't, because to me, you don't protect your blitzes in it, because then what they can do is they can smoke you out, and then all the blitzes that you think are good is that they can sit there, they might just throw a hitch. They might try and run the ball away from your blitz. They might do who knows what they're going to do. But I think if you walk out of here, and I'm just trying to get you, you know, again, everything that we try and think is important to be successful as a blitz team is you have to protect them, and I think you got to be able to get out of them. So whatever your base coverage is, 2, anything like that, something that's simple. What we tell the front, we just tell the front, jet, jet, jet. If we're in odd, we don't even move. We just slant back to 4 down, just to get back to rushing 4 guys. And the truth of the matter is, through the course of the game, if we're in odd and we try and check out of it, and the line blows it, doesn't check back to 4 down, I don't care. If the end still drops, I don't care. Hell, I'd rather that. I mean, I would rather that and maybe mess it up, as long as the secondary gets on the same page and we get the coverage check. If we can't get the D line perfect, I don't care. It's worth it to me so that you know the smart guy on the other sideline that sits there and says, ha ha, we got your ass. You know what I mean? That you say, well, you know, maybe not. You know, maybe not. So anyway. I like this play right here by 44. He's going for that A gap, and then he feels that guard coming at him, and he digs out underneath that. He actually ends up in the far side B gap. 32 is the wrap blitzer, and doesn't. If he only didn't give up on it, you know what I mean? If he really just wrapped around the guy's butt and came, we'd make a tackle for a loss. And then 33's just got to be. He's our safety dropping down the box. They handed the ball to 3. That's 3 right there. You see how he's getting in a hurry? You got to slow the hell down. Okay, this is 2 by 2. So the safety's giving. Now I like the disguise here. Switch call. We're out of up. So he's hot 3. Now you can see right here. To me, we're in a situation for a disaster. What happens here? Yeah, that's the whole reason why we want to be in up. To me, this is my drill. This is my hot 3 drill. That's 3. There's you. He dives in. You got to mirror him. You got to come in here, because that hole right there, if the back were to go in there and he's trying to, that'd be your play. That guy's just too sorry to block him. But he's got to be over here like this. Got to be. Now, that's more like it. Up top here, you see the relationship up here. Now, the safety is hot 3, and what we'll do on gut, the weak safety is always the hot 3 guy, but they have the freedom again once they get knowing what they're doing. If we had extended trips out here, that guy's always hot 2, but we'll let him be the 3 dropper and let that guy go deep middle just because of proximity rules. You know what I mean? But I like this. You'll see right here. I like this relationship a lot better now, and he still needs to be more reactive and responsive. 45's learning in terms of getting back in there. It's a great time up on the blitz by 44. Knock the ball out. Okay, I put this in there. This is actually a bad play, and you should be at the point now where you can see why it's bad. You can see it. What's our problem? We got no what? Yeah, we got no hot 2 player in the boundary. And you can see it. We got a hot 2 and hot 3 player, and they're almost stepping on each other's toes. So you know we're humped right there. Show you from behind what happens. Running this out a pair of 2s this week. I'm not sure if somebody busted or if that's the way we were doing it that week. I can't remember. Now, the other thing I don't like here is this, is that 94 gives up on it. He should be a 3, but he gives up on it. he should be out here. See how he's messing around with that guy? It's not serving the purpose. Get up the field. 20's our unblocked guy. Where's 2? Here. There you 4. You are our force player. He should be out here. He's our contain. He's got quarterback. And this guy right here should be our force player. Because he comes inside, and that's a part of 2 recognition. The play before, he was the back. Now he's the tight end. I got to be able to count to 2. That's all I got to do. But I got to do it if we want to stop the run. Okay, last couple, there's not too many of these. This is Fox. We're at Avad. There's our dropping defensive end. That's our Will. Our Will is hot 3. There's 3 right there. There's our Mike, our safety. Now, to me, it's a ridiculous disguise. I mean, we might as well wave a flag and say we're blitzing Fox. But luckily, they didn't see the flag that we waved. They put them all out, and if 5 are out, it's got to be hot. Now, to me, that's hot 3 right there. You see what I'm saying? That's a hot throw, and we got the hot throw taken care of. Okay? You can put your hand up, you can kiss my ass, because the quarterback's hot. You know what I mean? Like, you're not open. Like, you're not going to be an option on this play. Now, to me, we're going to get in trouble right here. Hot 2 defender works straight back. He's working for width. He's got to throw it to him. Okay? And this was the first, after we made a big deal about being a scoring defense, that first thing I showed you about, what do you think it meant to our kids the first game of the year in the first half, score a touchdown? They thought they were, they thought that was a big deal. Okay, so this is Fox the other way, or still strong Fox. Same thing, against a zone read, 2-back option game, that guy's an outside blitzer. He's getting ready to screw it up. We want him to run in there. Hell, run the ball in there. We got all this safeties blitzing and stuff. Run the inside zone. Pitch player, dive player, backside with flow away. He actually works out being a dive player as well. Watch it here from behind. Now, to me, 20s, that's what I'm talking about. Our safeties are just, they're the ones that struggle as inside blitzers, partly because they're little wee men, you know what I mean, that are afraid they're going to get hurt or whatever. But hell yeah, man. Run to that A gap. You think it's open? I'd say so. Okay, here's a good look right here. This is we switched it this game. That's our D end. That's our Will linebacker. So we got a switch call. We're running Fox. Bring a safety. We got a hell of a time up going right here. And this is to me the perfect. This is the best example I could show you of our defensive end playing hot 3 on the back. Patient, square. Remember how I told you that hole opens up? We want the hole to open up. Get in there and smash the guy. Watch from behind. And again, you can see, you should be able to start to see the trend right now. 11 is more natural at some things. 45 shows up as kind of not so much all the time. There's 44 on the blitz. Changes direction a little bit. 20 in the A gap. Gets closed. Takes it to the next one. No problem with that. Ends up opening up the A gap that we're in theory blitzing, but that's fine. Boom, because we're an attack front. We're not concerned about getting reached. The linebacker's job is to play the gaps. When I coach linebackers, I don't say you're an A-gap linebacker. I say you're an A-gap linebacker unless the 3 technique gets in there, then you become a B-gap linebacker. We just pick up the scraps. This is weak Fox. Same thing here. It's hard for that center to understand that he might have to block the weak side safety. This is a drop crash. This is a drop call, not a crash call. The Will is hot 2 on weak Fox. 2's right there, so he drops the defensive end. So the Will's going to go. So we're blitzing the Will, the Mike, and the weak safety. It's a new blitz for the offense. It's just weak Fox for us with the drop call. That'd be cool if we made the tackle. 56 is wrong. Should be going to the big gap. He's not. And then 91. That's his man they just hand the ball to. Track him, track him, track him. Good job. Okay, dog and Fox are the same, except on dog, the Will blitzes and the safety's hot too. But it's the exact same blitz. Mike in the B gap, the Will's going to blitz the A gap. I put this one on there. You can see the coverage, and we're doing it out of West. The end drops. They screwed up, but I'll put this on here to see the blitz. Watch 44 right here. And again, he's trying to time it up. He's blitzing B gap, but watch what happens. We end up beating the protection. That's an inside blitz. It's not good against slot protection, in theory. It just got good because he ran to the grass. And look at this guy. He shoots him with his laser gun. He's like, "You're blocked." Okay. Anybody have any questions about those, about our base fire zones? I want to go to our cover 2 fire zones now. Okay. And this won't be quite as long. Let's switch a route right here. Sadly enough, you can't fire zone all day because it's got weaknesses. It's got some holes in the pass game. They're going to sit there and they're going to throw hitches. They're going to throw verticals, and hitch corner and just things like that that are easy open throws. So you got to have a complement, okay? And the complement can be not blitzing at all, of course, which we do quite a bunch. So, but we also like to bring this blitz right here we call strike. Strength is strike. Trap coverage, that's what we call this coverage. We have fire zone coverage. We call this coverage trap. Trap coverage is strong where fire zone is weak. And that's why we call it a trap. We're setting a trap. We will not go into a game and trap will never be the first blitz you see. Because it's a trap. What we're trying to do is we're trying to go fire zone, fire zone, fire zone, fire zone. And then we sort of, remember I was talking about we dictate to the offense? And then we sort of smoke out your plan. What are you doing against fire zone? And then all of a sudden, one time that quarterback's been having success, throwing the ball short to the outside, you're sprinting out to the field, things like that, and all of a sudden, you set the trap on him. Set the trap on him, and all of a sudden the quarterback goes, and by the time he either throws it for a pick or he gets hit in the face. We're bringing 2 blitzers outside the mic. Okay, that's hard to account for in protection. In theory, for sure, we should have the advantage if they slid it that way, but even against man protection, if it's a stand protection where the offense line's got the down 4 in the mic, and the back's got to read the SAM, we're bringing the SAM and the strong safety, or the will and the weak safety. Okay, that's tough. You see the variation in East and West. We actually prefer to run this out of East and West because you can run out of or up. It's just the end's job on this is different. Okay, he's got to get to the flat. He's a flat dropper, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's so much easier when he's up than when he's down in a 3-point stance. So if I had my druthers, I'd run it out of up or East and West. But certainly you don't have to. Okay, we have words in this coverage as well. And I'm going to keep it on this page real quick. And again, terms, hot 2, hot 3. We talked about that. Our terms are different. Okay, the first thing we have is a seam player. We actually have 2 seam players. Say, what's a seam player? A seam technique for us is quite simple. When we say I'm a seam player, what we say is I am inside and on top of whoever I am seaming, okay, unless he goes to the flat. If he goes to the flat, I look up the inside cut of 1 to the curl. Say, Coach, what if he runs a post, inside on top? What if he runs a corner, inside and on top? What if he runs a shallow cross, inside on top? What if he blocks? I'm inside and on top, and then play the run from an inside leverage position. What if he runs a drag all the way across the field, inside and on top? What if he runs to the flat? Deliver him to the flat corner, get to the curl. Bottom line. It's really simple. Inside and on top, we talk about no decision making. This is our no decision making defense, okay? Our end and corner, our drop end and our blitz side corner are the same person, but they have 2 different jobs. Our corner is what we call a trap defender, okay? Our end is what we call a buzz defender. Their jobs are identical. The reason they have different names is because they're both flat players. The corner is playing the flat from a wide position. The end, almost like a quarters linebacker, is playing the flat from an inside-out position. The end has to buzz to the flat. The corner we call the trapper because, in theory, he is the trapper. He's the guy, we're going to do this from an off alignment. We usually want to try and show like we're in scrape. Well, we always want to say, and I hopefully have a good example on this film, when we run strike, the way we want to disguise it is we want to disguise like we're doing a bad job of disguising scrape. I want the Sam up all, blitzing. I want the strong safety pre-rolled down. I want the deep, the weak side safety already in the middle of the field. Like, here we are, our zipper's down, cover 3. Come have it, you know what I mean? Run your cover 3 plays. And then at the last second, the Sam goes, instead of containing, he's an inside blitzer. The safety follows him. The weak safety runs across and plays the half to the field. The corner, instead of bailing to the third, he doesn't do anything. He just sits there like a heart, but it's an inside technique corner. So if it's run at him, he's going to spill number 1. He's going to play the gap inside of number 1, okay, whatever gap that is, okay? And then he doesn't move. He's a flat player. He's got all outside cuts he has, all short outside cuts. Anything crosses his face, he's got to match up on it. If they run double slant, he's going to rob the slant, okay? But he is what we call a trap pass defender in our cover 2, okay? He's got 2 on the wheel in this deal, okay? Let me show you what we'd say. Okay, the stresses of our cover 2 fire zone. And I'm sorry, and then the backside corner, just real quick, you see the backside corner right here. He's the same guy as him. They are both what we call half-field defenders. But it's very important to understand this technique. The half-field technique in our cover 2 fire zone means this. If I could tell you in the easiest way possible, they are seaming number 1. Which means that they're what? Inside and on top of number 1 wherever he goes. Unless he goes where? To the flat. And the only thing that what they have to do is that they are the eyes of the corner. The corner's not reading 1. The corner's reading either 2, if there's a 2, or he's reading tackle for run pass. Okay? The defensive end, he can't see 1. He's an inside out player. So he's working his way like this. So if 1 runs what we call a China, which means he hitches, runs anything where he's going to come in front of the corner, that safety has got to yell China, 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 so the corner can match him. And then the safety becomes a true half-field player. And I'll show you, if you just kind of understand that, bear with me, and then we'll get to the film and we'll watch it, okay? But they are not spot half players. This is our fire zone, you understand by now, is a spot coverage. This coverage right here is not a spot coverage. We're defending no spots on the field except the flats. Everybody else is matching up on their guy. Okay? And sometimes it makes it look really funky, but we like it because it looks very confusing on the quarterback. Okay? The stresses of this deal, if 5 guys get out. Now, 5 guys get out in the route, whatever happens, has to happen in an awful hurry. Okay? If there's empty, we got to come out the outside. The Sam or the Will has to come out of the blitz and empty. Because we got no one. If 5 go out, we have nobody on 5, basically. Screens. Screens are always a problem on blitz, but at least in fire zone, you got that hot 3 player. If they screen you in trap 2 down the middle of the field, again, the middle of the field can be vacant. Okay. Where are you strong in fire zone coverage? You're strong in the middle of the field. You're packing in the middle of the field. So what's the weakness of that? The edges. So what are we doing in trap? We're solidifying ourselves on the outside. Where are you more weak now? Down the middle. It's cover 2. Nothing stops everything. The kids have to understand the strengths and the weaknesses. And then quarterback scrambles, because we're matching up in this coverage. The quarterback takes off and runs. You got a chance to have a big play. Okay. The adjustments are it's tough to see, but I'm going to put it to you this way. It's really simple. Okay. On strong strike, the Mike and the Wool are the seamers. Come hell or high water. Nothing ever changes it. Nothing can ever change it. Mike is seaming too strong. The Will is either on 2 weak or 3 strong. You never seam a solo back. If it's 1 back, we never seam the back. Okay, so we're seaming the 4 most dangerous pass receivers. If it's 2 by 2, the Mike's got 2 strong, the Will's got 2 weak. If it's 3 by 1, both the Mike and Will are seaming 2 and 3 strong. Okay, never seam a back. If there's 2 backs, you seam the back away from the blitz. Why do we seam the back away from the blitz? Because we figure the back to the blitz is either blocking or he's out hot. The back away from the blitz is the one that's got a chance to free release. So we've got to seam that guy. Okay? That's our basic rules. There are no adjustments on strike. There's no switch call. There's no anything. The only adjustment on strike is, like I said, versus empty. The linebacker's got to come out. He's got to seam the extra receiver. Because we need 500 to play 5 out in cover 2. If you got too deep, you got under, 5 guys go out, they line with 5 out, somebody's wide open. Okay, so somebody's got to come out of the blitz. Okay. Weak strike is the exact opposite. So now the Sam and the Mike are always the seam players, inside and on top. Sam's always 2 strong. Mike is 2 weak to 3 strong, and that's it. Okay. Let me show you some video right here of our trap blitzes and why they're good to us. Okay. We don't run this as much. Trying to think of how many I've got here. I mean, I've got 15 examples here. I think we ran trap blitz this year. It's something we're going to run 4 times a game probably. Don't run it enough, though. Don't run it enough. And the first one right here, this is an example of a bad one. When I was talking about getting beat in the teeth of the defense, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. We have a bad disguise for whatever reason. The safety and they might have frozen us. I don't remember exactly, but there's our Sam and our safety already there. Here's our other safety. He's getting ready to play the half. There's the Mike. He's seeming too strong. There's the Will. He's seeming too weak. And you can see right now by his helmet, he ain't reading inside of the quarterback. Their eyes have better be on this guy. They are not run defenders. If they hand the ball off on a run and that guy goes deep, if all 4 of these guys go deep and they hand the ball off to that run, him, and him will be running with the 4 deep ones. We do not have, in our blitz game, we do not have run/pass players. We don't let them make decisions. They try to sometimes, but we don't. The defensive end is the buzz player. There's the trapper, there's the buzz player. We were fire zoning the hell out of North Texas game, and they kept throwing hitches. So we said, okay, we got to run strike. Take care of that. And they threw a hitch. And all we tell the defensive ends on this deal is work for width and get to the numbers. To me, we got them. They're running all hitches. This is a play that we should be able to intercept for a touchdown. We've beat the protection up here. We've got 2-on-1 on the back. And I can't remember why we might have had I don't even know which kids. They're both the same. One's a nickel, one's a safety. I forget who's who. But to me, that should be a touchdown for us. They threw the ball to the flat. Fire zone, we can't stop that play in fire zone. Trap, we have to stop that play in trap. Have to stop this play in trap fire zone. So in the grand scheme of things, so on Monday when we show film, and this play we get a long touchdown, this is a play that I'll go crazy about as much as anything, because sometimes just stuff happens, but this is completely unacceptable, because that's a touchdown we just gave up. Okay. All right, so right now it's 2 backs. Okay. Here's the Sam, there's the safety. They're getting ready to blitz. The Mike and the Will have 2. Mike has 2 strong. Will has 2 weak or 3 strong. But there's 2 backs, so our 2-back rule. What are we doing on 2 backs? We got the one away from the blitz. Okay. Which would be him. Up, but somebody motioned. So it's a 1-back rules. So Mike has 2, Will has 3. Okay, what did Mike's man do? Went to the flat. You see how the corner owns him now? So now Mike gets his eyes back inside, plays the flat. Now you see what I'm talking about up there? Now that's what we want up there. That's the route that we can't defend with a 3rd corner. That now we're all over. Now the corner doesn't have to have that. The corner to me is breaking on that guy like it's man to man. That's not necessarily the way it should be. The safety runs ironically into the tight end. I told you 33 is a blitz challenged. We're having a telethon for him. Okay? But what's ironic is he ends up running to the tight end who's running stick, and then the ball hits him in the face or whatever it was. Okay, here's trips. Okay, this is an adjustment we made. This is a variation that we did later in the year, and this was not a check. This is something we just went into the game doing like this, and we just called it strike swap. And instead of bringing the Sam and the strong safety, and then what you would do is Mike has his rule where he's got 2 strong. What we did is we brought the Sam and the Mike, and then the safety, that's the guy that normally would blitz. All we're doing is he and the Mike have swapped jobs. And what we love about it is that it's the same blitz as we do on scrape. just scrape to the blitzers. So it's great to the offense. Instead of playing thirds, we're playing trap 2, which is pretty cool. But what we love about it's a great disguise. And again, if you look at us right now, to me, I'm betting that we're in thirds. We got a guy in the post. We got a guy that looks like he's rolled down. Corners are inside. We'll play Bell thirds from there. Here comes the Mike and the Sam's. The Mike has actually walked out. The Sam's running a different blitz track inside of him. And there's our defensive end. Same thing. He's running to the flat, but he's not running flat enough. And if this pass actually gets completed, this is 3rd down and 4. We love this like on 3rd and 4, you know, where fire zone's not going to be quite as good. But again, we've lost a battle right here because our defensive end just goes too deep right there, and that they throw the ball to the flat. They can't throw the ball to the flat in this defense. Same thing. See how this is a failure right here? See that to us, we call that jumping on the grenade, and we don't want guys like that. You know what I mean? Like we joke with guys like that like that was the guy like when we landed at Normandy, he was like the first one to run out of the boat. You know what I mean? Like come on, dude, like stay alive for like a little bit. You know what I mean? Keep this thing going. I mean, don't think you're being a hero by just running into 2 offensive linemen. Work for something. Okay, here's the same blitz. So that's our strong safety. He's seaming 2. That is our weak safety that's pre-rolled to the middle of the field, trying to make it look like we want to look like we're in scrape right here. He doesn't have to do that. That's okay. We got him. We got him because they're sprinting out, and they're running smash or China to the field. And that corner, instead of bailing, gets China call, and he matches up on that deal. And that quarterback was expecting that guy to be wide open. Because even when we don't blitz, we'll play a lot of thirds, we'll play 3 roll. We're going to give up the field flat a bunch in our base coverages. That guy right there has got to yell China.